Yo, yo. Dylan, what's up, man? Kim, what's up? Demirkin? Demirkin? What up? Daquan, what up? Mac, what up? I think it went okay, man. I was the first one to finish. It's the second exam in a row that I'm the first one to finish. So it's either a really good sign or a really bad sign. It's curved, and I have a great grade in the class so far. So we'll see. What move did I catch yesterday? I caught that dump that happened literally. I mean, I closed the charts, was heating up my chicken and rice, sat down while I was waiting for that, and it just dumped right here. Beautiful dump. That was, I don't know how long you were in the stream, but I was saying, a lot of sell sides getting built up right here, a lot of sell side liquidity getting built up, and then boom. I just wasn't expecting it to happen that quickly. I was expecting us to push to all-time highs first, but as soon as it started happening, bookmap became very clear to the downside, and I hopped in on that. I took the initial short down to the VWAP, got out there for plus 500 on 5 of my accounts, and then I switched accounts and got back in and wrote it. I was basically writing it down to certain key levels I was seeing, taking profit, switching accounts, doing that, switching firms, because I trade one firm at a time. So I basically caught the whole move down with individual trades on each of my firms. So were you putting too much polish on for ballast today? No. What exam did you have? I had a business exam. Business exam. Business final. Daggum, I think it went pretty well. We'll see though. Yeah, I mean, I had a long time to prepare, and I had a cheat sheet. They allowed a cheat sheet, so I had my formulas for stuff on there and some notes about some readings that we had done throughout the semester. So there was like 2 questions or 3 questions that I was unsure about. So, what's up, Kirby? What if you fail? That's life, man. What if I get hit by a car walking across the street? You got to take what the good Lord gives you and make the best of it. 66 questions. A lot of them were true false, and then the rest of them were quantitative. So you had to do net present value, shareholder stake, things like that. It was not too bad. Echo, the reason I still am in school, I have 1 year left. And when I started school, I was not making money. I wasn't making consistent money trading. I had planned to go to law school once I finished undergrad. I'm in a very good school. And now that I'm making serious money and I only have 1 year left, I figure why not go ahead and get the degree. Good fallback plan in the future if something crazy happens with trading where I'm not able to do it, or something to, inspire my kids. I don't know. I just think it'd be stupid to drop out at this point. Maybe not stupid, but it just doesn't make as much sense. Trade order flow and momentum combined loosely with ICT. I got my shoes on today, so might not get a glimpse of the dogs. Mark, what's up, man? Haven't even had my full coffee yet. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's strong. Oh yeah. Dakota, they're in the Discord, bro. This is espresso. It's got a little bit of honey and a little bit of chocolate Fairlife. Just a pinch. Juiced, what's up, man? There you go, Aaron. It's all about fine tuning, man. It's all a part of the process. You got to find what works best for you. Try to block out the noise. You know, take good advice where it's given or where you find it, but there's a lot of noise on social media, so be careful how much you're consuming. Figure out what works for you and dial in. Kim, I honestly have not been watching. I had an exam. I literally, when I fired up the stream, I woke up this morning, got everything set up, did a little pre-exam studying, went to the exam, and came back, made my coffee, and sat down and fired the stream. I haven't even really watched. I was trying to figure out what we were pumping for here at 8 o'clock. Blew an eval in a night. Eric, I'm good. Doing great. I'm very relieved the semester's over. You sizing too heavy, which is causing you to have a tight stop, Aaron? Do you have a hard time reading Bookmap at first? I didn't have a hard time knowing the general concepts of it, but learning how it moves. You know, it moves. It's a system in and of itself. I spent a lot of time, and I still do, just watching Bookmap, paying attention to how it moves. So I suggest, my suggestion for people who are new to Bookmap, have dedicated sessions or days where you're not looking to take a trade and you're just watching Bookmap in conjunction with TradingView. And doing it just one day is not helpful. You got to do it a long time because it moves completely differently on certain days. Yeah, we're basically at all-time highs on NQ, not on ES. How was the exam? It was good, I think. It was the first one to finish. So it either went really well, Stephanie, or I absolutely crapped the bed. So I don't think that's the case, but we'll see. Standard deviation's good, man. Yeah. Blew my funded yesterday. That's the 4th blown funded this year, trading Mondays. Cut out the Mondays, man, or lower your sizing tremendously. Fridays are my days. Fridays are my Mondays for you. So what I've started doing is just lowering my sizing tremendously on Fridays, or just trading one account instead of copy trading. But if you're only trading one account, my recommendation is just lower your sizing, or don't trade at all. Bookmap is goated. Yeah, Bookmap is goated. For Lucid, what is a good way to copy trade? I use TradeSyncer. You can use TradeAvate. You can use the copy trading feature inside of TradeAvate. I use TradeSyncer. Juice says 4 accounts. I must have blown like 400. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I've blown a lot. Maybe not 400, but I have blown plenty. Would it be ignorant just to trade one micro at a time to build consistency? I don't think that's ignorant at all, man. I think if you're trying to build up a system and fine tune things, that's a good way to completely de-risk and get to the basics rather than focusing on the money. You could also paper trade. You know, I think that there's something to be said for that. It's my biggest winning day. I don't know, man. I've had some pretty good days. I don't like looking at things day by day though. By the month and by the year, I think is the way you should look at trading. By the week, month, year, you can have just an unbelievable day. My biggest, actually, I take that back. My biggest trading day ever was followed by my biggest losing day ever. I think I had my biggest day was about $22,000, and the next day I lost about 24,000. Got a little too high on my horse. Yeah, Dallas, the exam went well, man. I think it went really well. I think I was the first one to finish. So, like I said earlier, I either did really well or I shit the bed. So we'll see. I have not, Michael. I have not. I'll write that name down. I got it written down. I'll check it out. Muhammad Makber, advisor and assistant to the leader of the Islamic Republic. The Strait of Hormuz has been closed and will not be reopened except by the will of the Islamic Republic. I think you might be confused. Twizzy, I've done that before, and TikTok shadow bans my lives when I do that. They give me a warning, and then they tell me they're not pushing my feed to the FYP. So I would love to. I wish you guys could hear what I'm playing in my ear right now, because I usually listen to some pretty good music, but for the sake of not being shadow banned, I just don't do it. 30 seconds, Everett. Shades, the only thing I really add is the VWAP, and I anchor it to the true day open, which is 6 p.m. Eastern time. Hey, good luck with that, Ballas. I think you'll pass. Don't forget to bring the guy some flowers. All right, verse of the day. Philippians 4, 6 through 7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Jesus Christ. That's a good verse. That's a banger, if you will. How does PMI correlate with NASDAQ and ES? How does it respond to the outcome of predictions? I mean, PMI has a drastic effect on price action. CPI is bigger. NFP is bigger than most any others, but PMI usually has a pretty substantial effect. I can't remember which one, manufacturing services, I can't remember which one is more of an effect, but I mean, it usually has a pretty good effect on it. Listening to Justin Timberlake this morning, you're like the swole version. JT is good, man. Volume profile is good. I like that. You see Rips using that a lot, point of control and all that with volume profile. I think it's good. I don't get as much out of it as other people might. VWAP, to me, I like reading the momentum and the price action of Bookmap and keeping an eye on the VWAP. I keep an eye on usually the New York AM session VWAP, which I'll have anchored here on the chart. And then I'll keep an eye on the true day open VWAP. So I like to also look at the highs and the lows VWAP. I think VWAP in general is a good tool to use. That's an interesting question, Max. So I've been burned before trying to figure that out. So just because it comes out negative isn't an automatic correlation to negative price action or shorting. Sometimes a negative PMI or a lower than projected PMI can have a positive effect. It just depends. It's interesting how it works sometimes, though. If you go back and look at previous newsprints for PMI, you can look at the price action and see how it correlates. It's not always, I don't know the word for it, but it doesn't always completely reflect. How do you deal with the psychological part of it all? What was the turning point for you? Learning that it's gonna work. It works. This was a saying in AA when I used to go to AA back in the day. It works if you work it, and trading is a lot like that. If you trust your plan, remove the anxiety or the feeling of, man, I got to take a trade, I got to win, I got to make this work. If you can find a way to detach from that and just trust the process that you've created for yourself that is tried and true. For me, that was kind of the turning point. I don't always have to click the button. I don't always have to be in a trade. I can trade for tomorrow, meaning I can preserve my capital, protect my capital, and just live to fight another day. Made like 10K last week. There you go, man. Very nice. Hey, Christian. Hey. Thingy, what up? Ballas was genuinely distraught at the fact that you might not have gone live today. I'm here, man. Logan, it's called ICT, Kill Zone, and Pivots. David, what's up? How long have you been consistently trading? 5 years. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Mark. It causes major volatility. That's what is to be expected. I like to just be flat when those kind of news events come out, man. I like to let the dust settle and then try to capitalize on the aftermath. I oversized yesterday, lost 780. Overgrazed or oversized? Overgrazing can be a problem too. Can you show bookmap? Yeah. Statistics say that 95% of traders do fail and only 5% do make money. Well, here's the thing. That is probably a very accurate statistic. However, you got to look, you can, no social scientist worth their salt will ever make a univariable analysis about something like that. Meaning, what are the other factors that are being weighed there? How much time in the market is that percentage being, how much time are they measuring? So if you measure somebody who stayed in the market or stayed giving day trading a shot for a year to 2 years, what does that do to the percentage? Because that percentage is based on the majority of people who just try and lose money. So the majority of people do try and lose money because they don't do any research, they don't do any education, they think it's a get rich quick scheme, and then they jump into the market, lose money, and then don't take another trade. Or they buy a prop firm account, blow the prop firm account, and don't buy another one. They get burned very quickly because they try to run before they even walk, and they never try again. So that statistic is skewed in that sense. If you were to look at, if you were to take the statistic and say, okay, how many day traders that stick with day trading for more than 2 years, how many of those people are net negative? That would be a statistic that I think would be more accurate, or 3 years, 4 years. Some statistic that measures people who have actually stayed in the market for a long period of time. Because the statistic is skewed by the amount of people that jump in and jump right back out. Yeah, I do, Matt. Yeah, it's in the bottom right. You can't really see it. Yeah, you can. You can see it in the bottom right of your screen. I'll make it a little bigger for you. You can see it down there in the bottom right. How they just end up going away, Chris, that's a good question. Those are orders. So an institution, if they see price moving in a different direction, they can yank their orders. I'm with you on that, Tyler. I'm looking for that as well. There's a ton of it built up. I believe you. I believe you. There you go. Three minutes till the dump. 2 minutes still open. Do you take a trade today? I will if there's a setup. Definitely will if there's a setup. I should say opportunity, if there's an opportunity. You're talking about shades. Do I keep an eye on those? I keep an eye on the Mag 7, which is this right here. So it's got Google, Amazon, Apple, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Tesla. I keep an eye on that. And I do keep an eye on the individual stocks. Yesterday when we dumped NVIDIA and AMD and a bunch of other stocks were dumping. What's up, Evan? Are you going to trade or just speak the whole time? My man, you got 30 seconds. The market hasn't even opened yet. This is an example of you should sit back and learn something rather than speaking. It is spoofing, Chris, and it's actually illegal. But you can't, I mean, to me, it's kind of hard to prove. You can say, I changed my mind about the order. Here we go. Good luck, everybody. Be patient. Coop, what's up, man? It is in queue. It's in queue on the 5-minute time frame. I haven't traded yet, man. Order stacking below the VWAP down at 27,950. True day VWAP is right above 27,965. Looking vascular this morning? I am actually. Yeah, appreciate that. Still stacked down to 950. We'll see how it reacts if it gets down to the VWAP. When it keeps pushing down, you got orders that are coming in higher. So you had orders that just came in right there at 28,000. Now you got orders at 28,025 flashing. So every time it starts to make a move down here, we start to get orders injected higher. I have 3 screens, technically 3, but you could say 4 because one of them's a 49-inch that half is one thing and half is the other. So I have two vertical monitors. One's a 32-inch, one's a 27, and then a 49-inch horizontal. I think 3 is a sweet spot, especially if you're using Bookmap. Concy, I'm glad you like that. I hope that it looks clean. I felt like it looked a little cluttered, but hopefully you can read the Bookmap better. Yeah, I'm not interested in this yet. Can actually make out the numbers now. Nice, and you see more of the overall chart. Order stacks coming up higher here. 28,050, you got 109 orders stacked there, and then 28,072.50, you have another set of orders up there. It's weird how there's a ton of orders flashing down at 27,940, which is pretty far down there for orders to be aggressively flashing like that. Got a dark humor joke for anyone? I'd love to hear it, but be careful that you don't get my live in trouble. I got a warning for sexualization yesterday. I'm pretty sure that was Ballas. Yes, you have PMI at 10. That is M&Q. Adrian, that is M&Q. Feed comments got out of hand. What's your draw today, Big Red? We got tons of orders above us here. We do, again, have a bunch of sell side built up. So, you know, we could get a similar dump like we had yesterday. You know, we got this dump right at 11 yesterday, or 11, yeah, right at 11 basically. But we are pumping right now. Chris, that is true. That is typically how it works, but you want to kind of wait for price to show its hand a little bit more first. I mean, it might be time to do that. You could have definitely taken that, but those orders can get yanked quickly and price can turn around. The order book can change, so you got to be careful. It's a nice pump though. 70s are juicy looking. Deeper and deeper. What's your opinion on scalping? I think it works. You gotta have discipline though. It's all about timing and discipline. There's some YouTube interviews of guys showing their strategy live, like being interviewed, and they're showing how they trade, doing it live. scalping, and it's pretty cool to watch. There's like a guy, sounds like he's Europe, maybe Russian or European or something. I don't know what he is, but I watch his stuff. He's a beast. Best software is Bookmap, without a doubt. Hey, if your blood's boiling, man, I'd take a break. What do you look for? Is confirmation. You want to see, I like to have the orders cleared out more underneath us. We have right now a bunch of orders under us. See how we're kind of pushing back down now? I don't like trying to target those levels when we have so much underneath this. Shades you can add when you do the Mag 7, you can create like this. This is an aggregate of all of the 7 right here. So you can do this by, I can't drag this over so that you can see it, but you can see if I can drag this over so you can see it. That's a strong pullback right there. This is basically an aggregate. You can see the end of it. You can put them all together. So this is an average of all those 7. And you can do this on TradingView. Or you can have the individual ones on the right side here. So you see how I have this. You can have all the individual ones on the right side, and it'll show you the percentages and whatnot of those. ES sweeping some highs there. Yeah, you can add them all together. It's pretty cool. It's helpful to have both. So if you have the individual ones added to your watch list on the right, have each individual one, and then you can have an aggregate. You can have them all together. So when you're in the top corner, when you're searching for individual ticker symbols, you can add them together. Kato, what's up, man? I'm feeling good, living better, man. Cannot complain. I thought C-Bone was doing live trading. Appreciate that, dude. How you doing, Kato? No, the spoofs, Trump's not actually putting orders in the market. Spoofs are done by institutions. It's illegal to do that. But I mean, like I said, if all of a sudden I have a change of heart, my analysis changes and I yank my order, who's to say that it was a spoof versus just an analytical decision? Haven't traded yet, Leo. Not yet. Boom. Smack those orders up there at 70. TikTok. Live on there as well. Exactly. So much. Trying to drag price in the direction they want it to go. Yeah, manipulate. I just keep losing and winning. Got to get my risk down. Plus, I think it went well. I think it went well. It either went really well or really poorly. I was the first one to finish. Yeah, for sure. Shades. What's the scalping guy's name? I don't remember, Jay. Um, I'll look it up later and see if I can remember. But he's on. Let me do it right now because I'm not interested in taking this trade. See if I can find it real quick. Here he is. Faber Valley. I'll spell it in the chat for you. This is his YouTube handle. Yeah, no problem, man. AP government exam today. Can you call Trump and tell him to tweet so I can have a win coming into the day? I'd go into it with a clear head, Evan. Might not trade leading up to that. What was the exam in? Business. It was a business exam. How many candles do you need? It's a series of down close candles before a sweep higher. It could be one, it could be a series. He was doing it earlier. I think he chilled out because I got a warning like yesterday. Do you just use Bookmap as a tool to see where the market is going for TP and stuff? I use it for entries and exits and stop losses. Interesting movement here. 634 orders, buy orders just got put right below us here. And there's a bunch, 200 orders above us. Michael, I think it went well. I think it went well. We'll find out. There's the 600 orders just got absorbed right there. They were 600 buy orders. Yeah, probably. Right above us right now, Joy, at 28,100. 10 points above, 9 points, 8.7. How'd you make the Mag 7? Let's see. You can, there's a plus button, I believe. There was a plus button that you could add them together. I'd have to look. Somebody else showed me how to do it, so I'd have to look again. You could copy this and put it into the search bar and see if that works. Try that. That's what the search bar looks like. They were at 28,100. They got swept. Enjoy. Diane, I trade order flow and momentum combined loosely with ICT. Yeah, I got you, Tyler. News in 12 minutes. Hopefully that gives us a pullback or something. Not necessarily low. What made you go bald? I was losing a little bit of my hair in the front. Just decided to shave it, man. It's not that bad. If I let it grow out, it looks decent. Gabe, what's up? Yeah, don't focus on the 400, man. Just focus on taking a good setup. Be patient. If it happens today, cool. If it doesn't, there's tomorrow, there's the next day. Don't rush it. What made you wear glasses? Ask question. Hesitant to hop on finasteride. I think if you don't get the side effects from it, then I would definitely do it. It works. I've done the finasteride. I've done dutasteride as well, which is combined with finasteride. Might need a trip to Turkey trying to join. Debated it. There's a good place called American Maine down in Miami that I've talked to. I'm doing great, Gabe. I hope you are, man. Bunch of people that were short just got stopped out. Daquan, did you just get stopped? Yeah, no problem, Tyler. Hell no. He's already gone. Those guys, all right. Yeah, look at this move. If I show it to you on Bookmap, it looks pretty cool. I mean, pretty wild. Looking like short, looking like short, looking like short. Boom. Pay you 500 for live and you'll be the mod. It's okay. You know what? PA was way better. Asia. Hey man, this is the thing. You got to be super patient. Yesterday, you saw how patient I was, and then we got this dump, and I was able to make a ton of money off of it. So, if it happens, you got to be ready to capitalize. You can't blow your wad before it comes. If it doesn't happen, you just don't take a trade. Yes, Bookmap, I got you. Both sides are lit up. I want to see myself sitting on my hands. Yeah, you have to pay for Bookmap. It's not the bookmap account that Peter. It's not the bookmap account that'll allow you to do NQ and Gold. It's the subscription, the data that you pay for. So you got to pay for CME for NQ, and you got to pay for, I think it's Globex or whatever for Gold. Comex. It's either Globex or Comex for Gold. It's a little over $100 a month for bookmap subscription and the CME subscription all in. Yeah, no problem, Peter. Did I just hear you say full port? Yeah, man. This is NQ. Lawson, what's up, man? How's it going? Don't gamble. Blacklist. Blacklist is a good show. Lawson, I'm doing well. I cannot complain at all. That was a sip of LaCroix. We are at all-time highs on NQ, not on ES. Not yet on ES. Got 40 seconds until this 5-minute candle closes. You got news in 6 minutes as well, so keep that in mind. Going bald is a king move. I just saw that, Mac. I like this heavy movement to the downside here, but I don't like taking a trade this close to news. I like the way that is shaping. You got to remember this is ES though. So Aaron, did you take a trade and lose? Take the trade to the downside, turn on. No, I'd rather wait. I'd rather miss the trade and have been right in my analysis than take the trade and be wrong. This close to news. Question, what do you think about ICT traders? I trade ICT loosely. I think that you can find success with almost any strategy if you can master your psychology. You know, PJ trades ICT and he's wildly successful. There's other people that I know that trade ICT who are very successful as well. Order flow and momentum to me, for me personally, fits more into my brain, like the way my brain works. When I say on the tube, what am I referring to? The other platform, Ballas. If I say the actual name of the platform, TikTok doesn't like that. They're very funny about the words you use because they'll say you're pushing people away to other platforms. And they'll give you a warning. I see a lot of people hating on ICT. Do you know why? There's a lot of hating in general in the trading space, man. And I think that's because, for one, there's a lot of people that are full of it. A lot of people. But I don't know why there's some sort of weird competition between trading styles, between trading philosophies. I'm of the mindset that you need to trade whatever works for you. There's people who make up their own style. I mean, they're loosely based on other philosophies or combinations of other philosophies. Logan CSO is a guy that basically trades a version of his own style of a bunch of different strategies. and he does very well for himself. I trade a mix basically of ICT with order flow and momentum, leaning more heavily into the order flow and momentum. But there's a lot of people who are just completely full of it, man. To me, it's, I don't know why it was analyzing it with my girlfriend last night, why it frustrates me so much. There's just people who are just straight up lie to your face and scam people. News in 2 minutes. Have you seen the fake accounts? Yeah, and I can't do anything. I posted on my story the other day what happens when I report those accounts. I get a notification that they don't find anything wrong when I report those. It's frustrating. Peter, I rely very heavily on it. Very heavily. Yeah, man. Stacy, no problem. Yeah, red folder at 10. PMI. Services PMI. 50 seconds. I love that, Baus. I think that's one of the most useful skills to master in trading, is the ability to just sit on your hands and feel comfortable doing so, not feeling that anxious feeling of, man, I'm missing something, I need to take a trade. Once you reach the point of being content with just sitting here, trading will start to become easier. Not easier, but I feel like you will find more sustained success. All right, here we go. 5 seconds. Order book is cleared out pretty much. Orders to the downside here coming in. Got some flashing in the 120s above us, but there's orders flashing more heavily below, I believe. Everett. Yeah, shorting all-time highs is always risky. We're not at all-time highs on ES though, and we did just have some sweeps of some key levels. So, be interesting to watch this. Jolts came in basically as forecast pretty much, and so did PMI. New home sales was up almost 30,000 over the forecast. That's nice. See what happens here. This is how the book map looks after that news. It didn't do much of anything at all, yeah. Because it came in right at forecast. Orders at 28,100 again. Balance. What happened? You chickened out and now you're paying the price. What happened? Order stacked into the 120s. Do I have a pet? I have a cat that lives with my parents. I had a puppers for a long time, 14 years, and she passed away, oh man, 3 years ago. And I do share a dog. I claim partial ownership, Kelly, if you're listening. I claim to be the father of a dog that she adopted against my advice, who I now love very much. Yeah, I could echo, but it looks funky. People would have to turn their phones, you know. When somebody's just scrolling through, they typically scroll by faster if you have a weird layout like that. If you go to the tube, the layout probably looks a lot better, like what you're looking for. I'm not sure, Hassan. I'm not sure. Any advice on full porting? Make it happen, man. Full port long right now up to 28, 125. See what happens. See what that get you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Forex Factory, juicy. Go to forexfactory.com. Yeah, if you do go to the tube, drop a subscription or whatever they call it over there. Trying to run that up. Had a limit, but I removed it. Dean, what's up? I think a minute or two is probably good. Whitston. Um, totally up to the trader what they're comfortable with. I'm not seeing. I mean, obviously we're pushing higher here, but I'm not seeing something that would entice me to jump into a trade at the moment. Appreciate that, Steezy. My beard is starting to beard finally. I feel like price is going to do the same thing it did yesterday. It very well could, and that would be beautiful for me. The giveaway probably won't happen this week, unfortunately, because I did not plan ahead. So Lucid locks your affiliate stuff from the 1st to the 10th. So I can't get a code until the 10th, and I didn't buy one in advance. But we'll do 2 giveaways next week to make up for it. Might do some. I'm trying to figure out how to do the Take Profit Trader giveaways too. I want to give some of those. Second time frame. ES is ripping. It's catching up. Yeah, it's trying to catch up. I don't know why they're so low key, man. I don't know why more people don't talk about them or trade with them. I love them. I love Take Profit. They're my number one firm in my opinion. What are your thoughts on entering trades before market opens if setups are presented? If your setup presents itself, I'd say make it happen. Which plan of the premium trading view should I subscribe to? I have the premium plan. Essential, I think, is probably good for most people. The biggest benefit is you can have more indicators. It'd be smart to catch the ES catch up. It's up to you, man. I don't like to advise people on what trades to take. I could see your thinking, you know, I could see justification for it, but I wouldn't enter blind. I think it's totally up to the trader, man. You know, I try to shy away from taking pre-market trades, but if there's a really just an unbelievable setup going on and there's, you know, the conditions are right, I'll take the trade. DT, what's up? Zach, what's up? I try not to shift my psychology, Michael. I try to just keep doing what's working. Doing great, Zach. How are you doing, man? That's called hedging, and they will not allow that. ES Bookmap. Strong pullback here. A little retrace. Let's see if it has any legs on it. How would they know? They know. They see all your trades, man. They can see all of your trades, your executions, your entries, your exits, where you place your stop losses. All that data is stored. They can see all that. There's Potter. He's back, guys. What broker do I use? You talking about prop firm or with personal capital? Strong momentum, Peter. So if I saw strong momentum starting to build to the downside here, I'd be interested. But it's tough to take a short when we're trading all-time highs like this. But I would definitely get interested if we started creating some more momentum to the downside, some severe momentum. How though? The firm can see with their accounts. They're being transacted through their system, so they can see what you're doing. I don't use Quant Tower, damn. Let me know how you like that, Dan. I've heard other people using it. They have good things to say about it. I haven't looked into it. There's some momentum. That's some momentum. Let's see how strong this stays. Anybody know if that was a news thing that just came out, or is that just a... Yeah, don't jump the gun and get in on this early because it could easily push back up. I'd wait. What happened, Tim? You're long? Oh, man. I hate to hear that. UAE air defense systems counter missile threat. I don't use limit orders now. Personal capital, I have used historically a firm called AMP, but I just switched some of them. I took some of my money and put it into a Tradeovate account. I'm using that because it's easier to integrate, and I can show you the P&L a lot easier. Like this is my Lucid P&L right here, and then if I just switch over here, this is my personal capital P&L. So I can flip back and forth and show it easier. I can also integrate it into TradeZilla to keep track of my stats. So it's just, I'm going to give that a shot for a little while. The fees are basically the same. They're not much different. Big order just popped in at 28,070 above us. I'm not in a trade, no. I'm not in a trade. A lot of times when you get a strong move down like that off of news, it'll quickly come back up. So I'm just waiting. I want to see the continuation lower, if it's going to go lower. User, I use M&Q. Here's those 28,070s getting ready to get tagged, I think. Big stack of orders right there. I still use TradeSyncer, yes. Yes, the blue line is VWAP. There's those 70s right there. The news was UAE air defense systems reporting they responded to a missile threat from drones. Missile threat and drone threats. Yeah, see, this is why you don't just jump right into the short. Gotta wait. I'm looking at Financial Juice, the app Financial Juice on my phone. It shows those quick updates like that. Strong pushback down here. Be very careful with this. C-bum. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, just be very patient. I was giving you I was writing the game plan out for you, Adrian. You gotta be patient. There is liquidity to the downside here, but we just bounced off the true day VWAP on Bookmap, as you can see. Tapped it, rejected right off. Want to see push through that level. Rather be late and correct than early and wrong. Tim, what happened, man? Very nice, Zach. Very nice. Holy cow, I'm sore. I was just up 700, thought I had a nice pullback, fat candle, took me out. Yeah. Can't predict that, Cato. I mean, you can't predict that, man. It's just bad luck. Brian, very nice. Not gonna lie, you've helped a little by not always taking a trade. I'm glad I've helped a little, man. So tired of hitting the eval wall. Slow and steady, bro. You'll get there. I have faith in you, Zach. There's no rush. No rush at all. Something that is interesting to think back on, as long as it doesn't screw with your head, if it allows you to kind of have more forward thought, is think about, like, let's say 2 months ago, if you hadn't blown the account, whatever account you were trading then, if you had just been taking $100, $200, $300 days, being satisfied with the smaller base hits, where that account would be right now if you hadn't forced the trades, if you hadn't been going back for more. You take a trade and you're up to $200 and you're like, oh, I want more profit, and you take another trade, and next thing you know, you're break even or down. Think about where you'd be if that same account was still alive and you've just been satisfied with those small base hits. It allows you to start thinking in the more long term rather than in the micro, thinking more in the macro. I haven't even put the orb up. Where is the orb? I see it. It's down there at VWAP. Yeah, if it taps that VWAP and rejects, that would be a beautiful orb trade. if you've already used the Lucid code, if you've already used the code for Lucid, and you did two, it gives the first 2 accounts 50% off. Then the next 4 accounts are 40% off, and then after that they're 30% off. The next 4 or 5 accounts are 40% off, something like that. So the 50% off is for your first 2 accounts if you're new to the firm. I agree with that, Brian. On trades, he made 600 yesterday, but just lost 800 on being scared. Yeah, it happens. Just got to be patient. Yeah, 40% off if you're new and you've already bought accounts with them before, you won't get the 50%. The 50% is for if somebody's brand new to the firm. I probably should change that so there's not so much confusion. But then if I change it to 40, people who have bought their limit on the 40% discount will say, well, why is it only 30? Well, then I need to change it to 30. So it's like, it's at 50 because it's for the newer people who have never traded with Lucid. It should be 50% off then. If you're new, your first 2 accounts should be 50% off. Here's Bookmap. Yeah, Lord, that's a good. You got to remember those times you put your hand on the stove and it was hot. Yeah, here's a yes. Strong push back up. Palace. Let me know what you're hearing down there. I appreciate the follow, man. Appreciate that. This is in queue. Violent moves there. I love hearing that, man. What's Forex? Foreign currency exchange. Reuben, the verse of the day was Philippians 4, 6 through 7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Jesus Christ. Bounce up, view up was beautiful. Very nice. Negative 200. Could be worse. That's not terrible. Be more patient, Adrian. This is called Bookmap. Very nice, Jazz. Mom just sent me a picture of my nephew watching the stream. No, I'm not in a trade. I was looking at a picture my mom just sent me. Well, I think you took that trade just a little bit ago, a little prematurely when I was calling it out. I don't know. That was just my impression. I could be wrong. All right, Jimmy, have a good one, man. Long up to 150. I'm not saying take that. I'm saying that there's orders stacked up to 150 here. There's not, but Fran, you can pay for a premium on there that lowers the fees, but I don't think it's worth it. I don't think the orb did hit, no. No, she's on the tube. So you're good. Aaron, what's up? Orb played on ES. Yeah, it tapped into it barely, yeah, for sure, on that pullback just now. You missed it by a couple minutes there, Matthew. It's the lowest we have orders right now. 28,050 has some orders stacked, which is basically that VWAP that we were tapping earlier. You can see them all down there. Got all the way down to 970, really. I can't tell you how relieved I am that I am done with the semester, dude. Feels so good. I hope your exam went well, Matthew. Dude, she's a brute, man. Chambers is no joke. Chambers is no joke. I have not taken a trade yet, though. Took some gnarly longs up to 20 longs for it. Exited 28,086. Very nice, Presto. Ballast, there is no courtyard. It's not. You don't have any once you get here, Matthew? Don't jinx it, man. You never know. Make sure you have your stats knocked out. There wasn't a stats equivalent that I could find that transferred. There was one at Wake Tech, but there wasn't one at Carteret. And you got to have that if you're going to do, you're doing bio or something, right? Yeah, you're doing bio, I think. For business, you got to have either 155 or stats 110. You might need it for the econ minor. I haven't taken a trade yet, Jeff. We're net flat on the day so far. Here's P&L. No trades. That's the Lucid accounts, Take Profit Trader accounts, Tradeify accounts, Alpha accounts, Apex accounts, and Personal Capital. All flat. I do usually stay till 11. Wasn't fully convinced. There was a lot of orders underneath us. Wasn't fully convinced that we were going to push immediately up. We swept some key levels here on ES that I was waiting to see if we were going to turn around after these sweeps. We had lost some momentum. You can see these are 5-minute candles. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong chart. I'll show you here. On ES, we swept these highs, and then you can see these. See how wicky we got here at these highs? That wick is all the way up here, and then that pullback. So I wasn't sure exactly what was going to happen after the sweep of those levels. You can see here's NQ, which started to pull back on NQ, very long 5-minute wicks. So this was off the open. No real entry there. Yeah, that's trade of 8. What would it be, Bay? I'm not sure what that is. Why do you have 150 mark? I'll show you exactly why. Bro, I don't know what that is. Stop spamming this chat. No trades yet. Miguel, does that answer your question? I couldn't be a streamer. The same questions being asked every 5 minutes would make me pop. You ever had a 6-figure month? I made in November, I made 106,000 profit. I didn't take all, that's not what hit my bank account, but my total profit on fundeds for that month was 106,000. I think I took out like 70 something around there. That was the month that I had a very large Apex payout and then a bunch of TPT payouts. Balance. That was first round of I went into the month with those accounts, presto, with those 5 TPT accounts and 20 Apex accounts. So technically I didn't, with that profit, I didn't spend any money on evals, but if you were to add up what it cost me to get there, I would say I had probably spent a couple grand probably on evals, you know, not just without taking the payout, but total cost of the evals to get there was a couple grand. I didn't know C-Bum was a trader. Appreciate that, man. I didn't start making any serious money until my 4th year, which was last year. I had taken payouts sporadically, nothing consistent. I like Lucid better. Not yet, Jeff. I got some stuff in the works, but as of right now, this is my main source of income. But I'm working on some other stuff. It's just been hard to really get anything off the ground or dedicate my time to anything with how much school has occupied my time. But I got some stuff in the works. That's definitely the goal, Presto. It's definitely the goal. I've noticed that when applying Palace. How much should you be making consistently in order to go full time? That's completely up to the person, because your expenses could look very different than my expenses. I think it's about the consistency. I think 9 to 12 months of consistent payouts is a good base, a good minimum to say, okay, I think I can rely on this, as long as those consistent payouts are covering your expenses, plus you're able to save some and stash some money away or invest in other things. Also, this is something that I thought about making a video about. Trading should be a tool to be able to create income that you then take and put into other things. Jeff, great question by Jeff. Do you have other businesses? The goal is to take your income or your profits, your payouts, whatever you want to call it, from trading, and invest that into other places that then are making you even more money, whether it's real estate or another business, buying other businesses, starting other businesses. This should not, I don't know one single person who is extremely well off who has just one source of income. Almost all of them are involved in some form of real estate, whether it's commercial or residential or something like that. But they all, regardless of what it is, they all have multiple streams of income. So that should be something that's on your mind with this. Can you name some businesses or investments you branched into? Well, I tell you this, I worked in mergers and acquisitions for small to medium-sized businesses when I was first starting trading. And there's so many businesses out there, man. And some of the ones that do the best are blue-collar businesses, roofing companies, garage door installation companies, plumbing companies, even landscaping companies, man. Those are the kinds of things that I would look for as somebody who's you need some money up front to be able to do that, or you can do seller financing. There's different creative financing options out there, but the industries that aren't glamorous, but they're blue collar and they are basically AI proof, those are the ones that I would definitely be paying close attention to. I'm not saying become a roofer. I'm saying those are the companies that I would look at buying. Did you pass the coding class? No, I didn't. I'm having to use my mulligan on that one. Bookmap's got orders to the downside here, but we're not creating momentum in that direction yet. Appreciate that, JF. Hey, no worries, man. 270 to pass the eval and you got a negative 350 today. That's not a big deal. Don't allow it to cause you to revenge trade. Remove the profit target from your mind. Focus on taking those good setups. You took an L today, no big deal. Don't make it worse. Come back tomorrow and try again. Yeah, close your laptop or your desktop, whatever you're trading on. And journal. Make sure you're journaling. Indicator by late 2027, I'm calling. What do you mean? There you go, Daquan. No big deal, man. Small potatoes. I do know that, Oliver, and I can't do anything about it. TikTok will not get rid of them. I report them, and I get told that they find nothing wrong. Hardest thing for me to learn was not turning a lowercase L into a big fat underline capital L. I would agree with that. And being satisfied with a small winning day and not feeling like you gotta pile on and end up losing the small profits that you do have. Won't be able to tomorrow. It's no big deal. Markets will be here next time you come, man. What do you consider to be momentum? You'll see it. You'll see the volume bubble start to increase. You'll see the flashing start to increase underneath. You'll see, you'll see it price getting drug in a certain direction. It becomes glaringly obvious once you see it enough. I mean, that's a very strong movement. I wouldn't consider that's a news movement there. That's news too. This is, you can see this momentum to the upside here. It's starting to happen a little bit right now. But you want to see it break these levels right here with strength and continue. Yeah, see, it's starting to build a little bit there. I did not take a trade yet. Not yet. I've thrown all my payout money into the casino hoping I hit big. Any advice? Keep at it, man. You got to win eventually. As me and my brother jokingly say to each other, I'll get it back. I'll get it back. We call those interest-free loans. It's just an interest-free loan, Ballas. Why, bro, trading against EMA 200? Why, bro, are you not able to properly analyze that I'm not in a position? You don't see a trade open, do you? All right, Lewis, have a good day, man. You still getting off at 11? Yes. Got a quick long for 50 points. Very nice. That's a good day right there. Can you show NQ Bookmap? Yeah, I can. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. I'm going to mute myself. Switch the game. Does your trading view feed move as fast as your TradeAway? No. No. TradeAway definitely moves quicker. Yeah, this is in queue. Alfie. I was in longs, got stopped out, lost 200, could have made 1,000. That's frustrating. 200 is not bad though, man. Risking 200 to make 1,000 is good. Good risk to reward there. You're gonna have. I actually have to go to a lunch meeting at like 11:30. So I'm gonna be, if I do take a trade, it'll be very, in a very small window of time. No, I don't do that, man. Thank you though. Trade minis. What's your trading concept? I trade order flow and momentum, loosely combined with ICT, more heavily so leaning into the order flow and momentum with the way price action's been. Exam went well, Maddie. I think it went really well. I was the first one finished, so I either did really well or I did very poorly. We'll see. We're doing well over here, Casper. Doing great, man. Trip hitting on PA lately. It's been tough for some people. It's been really tough. It's challenged a lot of people's patience. It has challenged a lot of people's patience. I think that if you're a new trader trading these markets, once things return to somewhat normal, that you will be doing okay. My system works well, man. I made about $79,040 last month. No confusion here. Been doing this for 5 years. I'm operating like a well-oiled machine. I appreciate your concern, though. You are a champion for looking out for me. I don't know if it'll ever go back to normal. I think it will. I think once this war gets settled, they kind of get everything figured out, there'll be somewhat normal price action. Yeah, you'll be good, Lawson. You'll be good, man. Just stay patient. The biggest thing, I can't emphasize it enough, is just stay patient. No trades yet today. No trades yet. Patience. That's the P&L. Thing is, Lawson, you're in here. I see you in here all the time, man. You're showing up every day. That's most people, they give up. I mean, in the time that I've been doing this, it's amazing how many people just come and go. That's one of the hardest things for people to do, is do something consistently, especially when they're not getting the results they're looking for. You know, it's kind of like the gym. You don't just start going to the gym and all of a sudden look really big or see the results. But if you consistently show up every day and do what you need to do, eventually you're going to start seeing some results, and it's going to pay off. He's already gone, Dallas. I'm pretty quick about getting those guys out of here. Back in the day, if I had the wisdom today and trade last year's PA, I would probably have my first payout, but it's all God time. Yeah, man, there's no rush to it. There's no rush. I'm glad it helps, Kyle. Been in trading for 9 months. You're just scratching the surface, man. I think, who was it not that long ago? Was it Dakota? Or somebody was like, man, I've been trying so long. I've been doing this for so long, and it's just, I'm not seeing the results that I want. I'm like, how long is so long? And they're like, a little over a year. I'm like, dude, that's not long. That's not long. 5 years isn't long. I've been doing this for 5 years. I consider myself still relatively new. Botting the temp. Passed my first eval, blew after up 2,700. That's good. I mean, that's good progress right there. It depends on the firm you're with, Peter. It'll say, like on Lucid, it says breached if you blow the account, and then you can manually get rid of the account from your dashboard. Some firms, they don't. It just goes away. Woke up golden. I appreciate that, man. I'm glad it's helping. Been trading futures almost a year and a half and only had my first payout this past January. I know I can become consistent. I feel so close. I can taste it, dude. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. That's the video I made the other day, man, where you feel so close to it. Like you can feel it. Like you can visualize it. You just got to keep showing up. Tradeify, pretty sure it just disappears off your dashboard. Remember though, if you're trying to reset if you want another account, Peter, you blew the account, you want to reset it, or you want another account, the best way to do that is to reset it. Typically that's cheaper than paying for a new account. I think the reset for the 50K select accounts are $100 or something. So, yeah, Zach, and you're so consistent, dude. You're consistently here. You're putting in the work, man. I love that, Ken. Not taking sells there, but there was a large stack of orders. There's still a large stack of orders there. It's not as big as it was, but there's a large stack at that 150. You could put it in a high yield savings, Maddie, if you wanted to do that. There's different options. Treasury bonds. I mean, you can do different things with it so that it's not just sitting there for the entire time that you're waiting to potentially use it. I appreciate that, man. Hope to visit Colombia someday. First time using them, so I wasn't sure. I'll try them again and reset those, but I have 5 Lucid, 5 FFF, 5 Alpha Futures, all funded, so I'm not worried. Yeah, there you go, man. Yeah, you got a nice stack there. It's a good foundation. I'd be tempted if I was you to throw in those take profit trader accounts into that mix, because those daily payouts, man, I'm telling you, once you start taking them, you realize you're going to say to yourself, what have I been doing? Explain my thought process. Well, wasn't going to take a trade that quickly into the session. So that's the 9:30 open right there. We had ES. Once we hit this level up here around 9:45, we had ES sweeping these highs right here. And then you can see these are 5-minute candles. These pullbacks started to lose momentum to the upside. So I was waiting to see, are we going to sweep these levels and push back down maybe to the VWAP or even lower? Then we started to get momentum back to the upside. So I just didn't get a clean entry. I wasn't seeing the momentum and the clear order flow that I wanted to see on Bookmap. So, instead of taking a risk and not, not making money or losing money, I just decided to sit on my hands. If we started to get a dump like yesterday at 11, this time yesterday, we started to dump aggressively to the downside. Potter, you, God bless you, man. God bless you. I really want to start trading, but I don't know where to start. I have a video posted, pinned at the top of my page. You can go check that out. It explains what I would do if I was starting from scratch. Rather miss a trade than lose on a trade, exactly. Austin, take care, man. Trying to understand which Bookmap orders to take. A lot of times you need to look, basically what I look for is I want to follow the trend. I don't like to counter trend trade unless there's a change of direction, a change of the trend. But the orders that you want to pay attention to are these key levels. You typically think that if price is behaving normally on Bookmap, that these are going to be levels that we target. This has just been chopping. It's been pretty erratic price action. So you got to take that into consideration. This is why I say that you got to spend, if you're going to use Bookmap, you need to spend a lot of time not looking for a trade, just watching Bookmap and watching TradingView, because you have days where if you see these key levels, these bright lit up levels on Bookmap, the price just goes right to them. And you can pretty much tell that early in the session if that's going to be one of those days, if that session is going to be a day like that. You can also tell if we're just going to have days where those levels are sitting there, price goes close to it, edges it, and just rejects back out of it. So you get when you spend a ton of time watching Bookmap in conjunction with TradingView, those days become easier to spot earlier on in the session. And you got to know, well, for my trading style, maybe it's a good thing that they're going to reject those levels. Maybe that's where you take a, in this case, you would take a short or take a long if it's rejecting off a lower level. For me, that's not how I trade. I look for price to target those levels and then create momentum potentially through those levels. So when it's days like today where it seems like we're not necessarily going right to those levels, and when we do, we reject out of them, like this right here. This is a perfect example. So you had those orders stacked up at 115, and price comes up here and just edges it and then rejects lower, and we still have not absorbed those. Now we got these orders flashing, so we might go there now, but if you were in this position, you had to withstand, let's see, we were at 28,113 and we went all the way down to 28,085. That's a ton of drawdown that you would have to stomach. And I don't trade like that. 10 points is typically my first stop loss when I'm trading heavy momentum like that. I'll throw a mini on, have 10-point stop. When we go 10 points into profit, I'll typically throw a second contract on and move my stop to break even. If I'm trading order flow and momentum, that's my style of trading for that. And then I'll trail my stop as price continues to go higher. I don't just automatically close. There are levels where I'll say, okay, once it hits this, I'm going to close the position. well, typically like a VWAP. There you go, Thomas. I love that, man. There's no bookmap on TradingView. It's a software in and of itself that you run. It's not a part of TradingView or anything else. It's a standalone software. No trades yet, Connor. All right, Maddie, take care, man. Just saw your message. Have a good day, man. It's beginning to, Echo. It's beginning to. I'm making it happen. God's helping me, but I'm showing up every day. You know, he can make it rain, but you got to get out in the field and plow the soil and plant the seeds, man. So it's definitely, I'm on track to making all of it happen. User, I use M&Q. It looks cleaner than just regular NQ. Yeah, try to switch to M&Q. MCHO, just keep showing up and fine tune your system. You know, make sure you're journaling and paying close attention to what's working, not just in trading, but in your life. What's holding you back. Constantly fine tuning your system. I don't think it's sell at 150, but the reason I have it marked is there's a large stack of orders there. I'm about to hop off, Kim. I was giving it a minute. All right, guys. It is 11. That is my cutoff. If you're new, drop a follow. We're live every day at 9 a.m. to 11. We'll be back tomorrow. If you're green, stay green. If you're red, don't make it worse. Don't blow accounts. Be very patient. So I love you guys. God bless you. Have a good day. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. and we'll see you then. See ya. Waiting to see the P&L. There it is right there. No trades. Flat across the board. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Waiting to see the P&L screenshot. Probably not going to see it, but we'll see. We'll see you later.